assassin tab, and we're gonna throw up the warrior tab, right? Unfortunately, you can't do both at one time. We're gonna have to go with the #1 jungler right now, and I think the #1 jungler right now is Set, and he's undercover. Definitely undercover right now. With his base stats being buffed recently, I think he was already strong, but just not used. He was just not used. And I think he's really the #1 jungler right now. I think there's a couple ways to build him, so we're going to go into the ways we build him. We're going to go each character, and then we're going to go on how we can build them. So here we go. We're going to go and set. Bro, this bug needs to die. Okay, sorry. So we're going to go on the God Builder. And these are my favorite ways to build them.
I've been single for 3 days, Andy.
So
help me find a man.
I do enjoy Warrior Tabai, even though Ninja Tabai does make sense with his ult. Ninja Tabai does make sense with his ult. I like Warrior Tabai because the spike with his 2-1 is really important for his early mid game. And that's why I choose Warrior Tabai over Ninja Tabai, I would say 80 or 90% of the time. Sometimes AA base could be a better build against the comp that I have because they lack control, which means my DPS goes higher if they lack control. So that's where I would grab the Ninja Tabai, but usually I always go the Warrior Tabai. Why? The 2-1 is always really important for his early mid game ganks, spikes, and power farm. I'm gonna look to drop a video on Set too, since I think he's the best jungler right now. And then we're gonna go from grab boots, and then I think Crusher is the second best spike item in the game. For him, why? It incorporates everything he needs: 20% attack speed with power and 50% pen, and letting his and Crusher proc on any ability he does, which goes hand in hand with his 3 and his 1. And it helps him clear really fast as well, which if you think about it, the 2-1 doesn't insta clear until like later in the game. When you're talking about the minions, you need like 4 or 5 levels in it and a certain amount of power. So the Crusher definitely does help because you have AA, meaning you power farm, and Set is definitely a power farm character because he has great mobility in the jungle. He can hop over almost any wall, and it isn't even as clear. For example, like Thor, his 1 helps his clear, so hammering over a wall is kind of like inefficient. With Set, it's not even that bad, and it's an instant TP. So I love Crusher on him. And then now it gets weird, right? Now after Crusher, I think there's 2 different ways to go. I think there's 3 different ways to go, and I'm gonna really get in depth with this, so I hope you guys learn from this video. I think we're gonna talk about, so we're gonna drop the Crusher so you can see it. This is the beginning build. I think almost every time this can be the beginning build. You can rush trans if you want to. I think that is the other alternative build, but I think Crusher's definitely just that good on him early. And now we're gonna have to go there. All right, now we're gonna go the spike and burst damage build. Burst damage, not highest DPS, but highest burst damage. So I think it's Transcendence after Crusher, and then Hydra's after that. Boom. Then here you can go different ways. I think if you still staying by the fact that you're trying to one-tap their mages, I think doing this and then Bloodforge is really good.
Set play by play.
I think Adrenite is really good too. You could, instead of Hydra's Lament, you could go how the fuck do you pronounce this? Erendite. I always want to say it's Adronite for some reason, but Erendite. You can do Erendite here, and it's really, really strong. And it is a very expensive build, but that's what Set's great at power farming, just like Mercury, right? Mercury is really expensive build, but it's worth it because he can power farm. You see, the characters that you go really, really expensive builds with are characters that can power farm, like Pele as well. You go the Soul Eater, expensive item. You go Crusher, Soul Eater. Then you go like Voice Shield, another $2,600 item. So yeah, I mean, sorry YouTube, but yeah, I'm just answering chat. They said, oh, this is a pretty expensive build, so definitely trying to get back to my chat as well. And while this is a very expensive build, I think Hydra's goes after, and then last item, you definitely just go Mantle. 6th item, you go Mantle. Definitely. You don't need any more power than this. And if you did want to go more power, you definitely go Bloodforge. So this is a spike here. This is most damage. It procs after all? Does it? Erendite procs after all. Okay, then you're right. You're right. Then you don't use Erendite. I did not know. I thought Erendite ult, his ult goes down as soon as you press it, which makes sense why I wouldn't, because then you would have such a low CD on it. So then, yeah, if that's the case, then don't go Erendite. Good thing chat's here to help. So we go back to the Hydra. So move the Hydras here. Move the Hydra here. Where the fuck's Hydras? I believe him, chat. So we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. Alright, so Hydra, Boom Boom, Heartseeker, then you'd probably go Bloodforge here, or if you want a little bit more, CD, which CD is actually really good on set because his 3 is pretty broken, and so is his 2-1. So you definitely probably want to go Jones here if you want to continue bursting people. You don't want just a one-time burst, go in, and then you're kind of dead. You want to go in and have a ability to get at least a couple ones off. So, boom, there it is. This is the highest burst build. Now we're going to cut this off, and we're going to show you the other builds. If you guys have questions about the builds, feel free to ask under. Now this is the hybrid build. I feel like it's very good too. Now I know people go Frostbound or Blackthorn. I like both. I think it's situational which one you go, but I think both hammers are really good. I almost like Blackthorn a tiny bit better. Frostbound, you could actually just stick to people regardless. And then you go Void Shield. And then you can go Stone Cutting. And then you can go something like a Mantle. And now here you have your 1, 2, 3, you have your 6 items. And if you wanted to go like a later item that would help in the damage department, you could go Heartseeker if you want, last item. So what this build does, it doesn't bring a lot of CD, as obviously you could tell it's only 10%, and 10% only when you're above 50 mana. But what it does do is it brings this build where you can annoy their backline, and even if you do get locked down, the chances of you dying are not as high. And this is a nice hybrid build. You still do really good power. Now think about your prots, right? You get 60 physical prots, and then you get another 30 from Stone Cutting if you're hitting someone, which you usually are with set. So you're getting 90 physical prots, and then off your base stats. So we'll say your level, by the time you have these items, you're probably like level, I would say 18 or 20, 18. So his base physical prots, 65, 65, 90, 155. 155 physical prots can be deceiving, right? And this is just on this spike, right? As soon as you finish your level 20, now you have, I think, what is it, 50 from Mantle? And now you're like almost at 200 physical prots, with still doing very good damage, bro. Stone Cutting 50 power, Crusher, I think 35 power, Blackthorn 35, and Heartseeker 75. So once you complete this build, you are tanky towards physical prots. Magical prots, not so much, but you do have good base HP. Base HP, base HP. So, and base HP is the best stat when you're trying to live early game, because there's nothing better than that, because people don't have pen yet. So they just have base, physical power. They don't have their kin size yet. They don't have their Heartseeker yet by the time you have these items. So base HP is the most effective. Obviously later in the game, kin size, hurts a bit. Heartseeker, Soul Reaver. But by that time you have prots to help against that, so that's why you get Mantle 6th item. So this is the other way of the build. I want to kind of keep this video a little bit shorter, so you can get. I know I'm going to kind of in depth with set. What items to go on them. I know I'm taking a little bit, but you'll learn a lot. And then we'll go into the other build, which is the AA build, which I like the least. Why? Because it is a fun build, but it's hard to get off. And now we're gonna go. Toxic Blade is always one of those good counter healing items with him. Instead of Brawlers. But I don't mind Brawlers. The only way you go Brawlers, though, is if you have Jotun's Wrath with you, or at least 20 to 30% CD. Because if not, then Toxic Blade is just flat out better. And then this is the AA build I like on him. I like this. Get Ikavel. And this is usually against a Merc or double Hunter comp that you'll go this. Stone Cutting. So you literally beat any Mercury, Nemesis, Rama, Artemis, any hunter. You usually beat with this in a 1v1 scenario. And then you go something like this, because the reason you're going this build is because you can go tanky or you can go like Poison Star. Like the reason you're going this build is to go counter AA. And I think with Poison Star it's actually pretty good. I kind of did this. I'm gonna drop a Nemesis video with this build, and you're gonna see how nasty it is. And then you can do something in the field of a little bit tankier, maybe like a Bloodforge. because it helps your spike. Because right now you have good attack AA, but you have low power, and a Blood Forge really helps in that department. Plus, with a chance to lifesteal goes good with AA, so it works bread and butter. And you probably want to go Mantle. Mantle is just the best item in the game, late game always. It's just like a brain dead, brain dead, just pick it up, bro. It's just, you're going to get CC immune, you're going to get mad protection. It's just an insane item. So this is like the AA build, is the counter AA build that I like to use, and it is what it is right there. And then we're going to go away from this. Boom, boom, boom. Set, number 1 jungler. Definitely got to pick him up if you don't play him yet. Now we're going to go with the second best, which this one is hard for me, but I gotta say what it is Hunbots. You see a lot of people right now probably think Kama, and while Kama, yes, he is a great jungler, I think he's a better solo laner. And with that being said, he's still an amazing jungler. I just think Bots brings this control that no other god brings, and that's why people forget about him, but then he comes back in the meta, and then when he comes back in the meta, he's definitely the top pick for a while, picked and banned. So we're gonna go into his god builder. Let's do it quick here. Let's go quick here. You always go Warrior to buy on him. I mean, Teleria, the problem with Teleria is that, yes, he is very mana hungry, but the problem is that his abilities have low base power early game, and for you to clear, the Warrior to buy helps a lot for your early game. So we're going to go boom, Warrior to buy, and now you ask yourself what you go next. I like Crusher, helps with your early game ganks. Jotun's Wrath is good, yes, for your ult, so you can go the Jotun's Wrath route with ult. And now here you ask yourself, here's always like the split decision, is that you can go trans, boom, which gives you that power that lets you one-shot the carries, or you can go more of the utility jungler and go Relic Dagger here. So you have to ask yourself what you want to be. You want to be the Hunbots that one-taps their carries. You want to be the Hunbots that gets the 3-4 man ults and grabs beads off cooldown. You know, maybe for your Ares or your Emir, or, you know, that's pretty much, you ask yourself what you want to do there. So I usually recommend to go to the trans. You know, you're the assassin. You want a one-shot, get her done. Boom. Now you ask yourself, I usually like to go Hydras right after for the spike, but if these people are building Void Shield on the jungler, for example, or, you know, 3 people have are going physical prot, you can't go Hydras because look at your build. What are you lacking? Pen. You only have 15 flat pen to carry you against a Void Shield, breastplate, whatever they have, sovereignty. So if they do have physical defense, you do go the Jotun's Wrath or Brawlers. Obviously, counter healing, you go the Brawlers. If you want to go for the extra more ults, Jotun's Wrath is better. Boom, boom, pow. So we're going to say they have counter healing. A lot of people always have healing, so you need the counter healing. Brawlers, strong build, lacks CDR. You could go Erendite. I love Erendite here. Now you got the 20%, and you have really high power. You definitely one-shot anyone here. And since you always blink into the backline, you don't want to get counterplayed, right? But you don't want to get beads and turned on. You usually grab your Mantle or your Bubble here. I think Mantle or Bubble is just better than Spirit Robe, because Spirit Robe, if you get CC'd, the chances are you're probably going to die. So you prefer not to get CC'd, so you have the Bubble. Or if you do get CC'd, you get the CC immunity. Okay, chat confirmed that Erendite does not proc until after sets. Alright, so we were right on that end. So boom, we'll say Mantle for the expensive. So here you have your 6 items. If you wanted to go a 7th item, you know, you definitely go fucking Heartseeker and you one-tap kids. So this is the Hunbots build. This is the one-tap Hunbots build. Like I said, Mantle unfortunately is in most builds, but it is what it is. Mantle is the best item in the game when you're talking about whether you have to think about it or not. You know what I mean? If you want a prod item, you could go Bubble. Like I said, Bubble if you have the, you know, if they don't have a Bellona or Sobek where they can just take it off easy, and it's very effective versus, you know, whatever it is at a Willix. Bubble would be really sick. Boom, we'll take this off. And now we're going to go over more of a hybrid Hunbots here. We're going to go Crusher, and then we're going to go Relic Dagger, and then we're going to go Void Shield, and then you're going to go Erendite. I think is the right pick up here. You do lack Pen, but your Void helps you. You need some sort of high base power item because you lack base power here, right? Crusher is fine. It carries you over to Relic Dagger, but after Relic Dagger, you feel pretty weak. Then you go into Void Shield, you feel some sort of strength again, but you are tanky, so you are hybrid. You can sit around the backline and zone. And then you go Erendite, help with the base power, and then you could go the Titans or the Heartseeker here. And here you do lack, you have 20% CDR, But if you want to go here and you want to do, you know, a bubble, or you want to go a late Jotun's Wrath, even though I know it's not that much pen, you do cap out at the 40% here. And you are very annoying with Red Leg Dagger, and you're pretty tanky. So this is more of a hybrid build. I want to show you guys that build right quick. And that is the number 2 jungler in the game right now. Now, this is going to be hard for me. I was actually thinking about this right now. What would be the 3rd jungler? And it's questionable because Thor and Kama just instantly come to mind. And I'm going to have to say Thor just for the same reasons. Like, Kama is very strong. But I think the reason Kama is so strong in the top picks and ban is that you can flex them. Thor, you can flex, but it's not the same type of threat. So we're going to go with Thor. We're going to go instantly as God Builder. Boom, 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 boom. Same thing with Hunt Bots. You can go Crusher or Jotun's Wrath. Both work. Jotun's Wrath, just take advantage of your ults. Try to use it off CD. Crusher, you don't have to constantly be ulting. You definitely have insane damage. Thor's AA's underrated. So we're going to go, we'll switch it up. We'll grab the Jotun's here. And we'll say, and then I think trans is just bread and butter with Thor. You kind of almost need it. You need the mana pool to constantly hammer into. So I think it's pretty important. Then you can go. Now here's where you kind of switch it up, right? You could have went Crusher here or Jones. Trans is just like bread and butter there. You could rush Trans as well. That is another option. Now you want Void because you're going to go in the back lane. That's fine. You could do that. Definitely don't disagree. I like Brawlers too. He definitely gets Brawlers off really well. So let's say they have counter healing. We'll go Brawlers. I mean, they have healing, so we'll need Brawlers. And then right after, you could grab. If I'm really ahead, I like the Blood Forge. If I'm not ahead and I need a lot of damage, even though you already have a ton of damage, Heartseeker is fire here. You're definitely one-tapping anyone you land on if they don't immediately beads and ages with this build. You're definitely bursting anyone here. And then if you want, you could go Blood Forge. I recommend a Mantle, but if you're popping off where you're like 15-2, 17-5, you know, this crazy KD, you could go the Blood Forge. And then here you're just one-tapping everything, and you're tanky towards the end, but you're very squishy this whole time here, so you got to really think of Thor as an assassin at this point. So we're going to kick it back and then go hybrid. We're going to go hybrid here. So we're going to, like I said, Transcendence is just bread and butter. We're going to go hybrid. Void Shield is the best hybrid item in the game in that sense. You go the Void Shield, then you can instantly go more of like a... You could go a bubble if it's strong at that point. You could go a Mantle right after. Like, this is really annoying. It's actually a really strong build still. Like, you still do good damage. You just don't one-shot their backline. But you do good damage, and you're really tanky. Let's say, for example, you have an assassin in solo, right? Maybe a Circuit or a Camazotz. This is not a bad build because now you have the damage in other lanes, like an Ares in support or an Ymir in support, or something or that does damage in support or solo. They carry the damage over. You still do decent damage, but you're more of a utility jungler. You're helping out your team. You're CCing. You're setting up more. All right, so now we're going to go into the Kama, the 4th best jungler in my opinion. The 5th best is going to be a big battle. The Bats. And then we're going to go over the build. Definitely just a high power build in this character. That's all it is in this character. You definitely can go the Crusher or the Jotuns. It's just these two items are the bread and butter. We'll say Crusher. Then you can go the Trans. Oh, I forgot the boots. Don't forget the boots, chat. Don't forget the boots. You could honestly rush Trans as well if you wanted to. I don't think it's bad at all. Because he sustains nonstop. So if you 3-2 a camp, you're literally full health. So Trans is not bad on this character for you don't mind the lack of pen. You only go attack speed boots if you're not maxing your 1. So we'll go, and then we'll go, what are we? We're boom, boom, boom. We'll say Crusher just because Crusher's really strong early game. Then you go Trans. And then you could go Soul Eater if you're feeling kinky. It helps a lot, but people are already building Brawlers because your cam is out, so that's why I usually don't recommend it. But if they're not building counter healing, make sure to punish them and build a damn Soul Eater. Always be tabbing. Then if you want to go a little bit hybrid, you could go the Void Shield. Boom. If you want to go even a more like a huge power spike item, Erendite is actually nasty. And then you go another pen item, you go Heartseeker here, and this actually is just does like, yeah, you have 20% CD and it's not even bad, but your power is expensive, but you damn do so much damage. You one shot. If you blink one to anyone, they're gonna be 30% health unless it's a Jing tank, like a tank. Any mage, assassin, or hunter is literally getting one tap by this. And then if they don't die off that, you jump. And if they don't die off that, then you ult. And then by the time you get up, you have 20% CD. You're going to have your jump again and your 2 and your 1 again. And you have Erudite extra movement speed for chasing. This build is nasty. This build is nasty. And then if you're feeling good, you can go to Bloodforge. If you're kind of, like I said, Mantle is the best item in the game. Never fucking forget that. You could go this. And it's fire. This will carry you through the late game, Mantle. You won't even feel the defense. And then you could go Bloodforge or Titan's Bane if you want. Or, you know, whatever you're feeling. Anything high power item. You want to go Brawler's Lake because you need it? To go it, bro. This character is just toasted. Now we're gonna go hybrid build, but I really don't recommend hybrid build in this character. It's not really what he's meant to do. But unless like you're talking about, unless you're going solo, because in solo you get the extra XP, right? You get the extra XP. With the extra XP, the extra base damage on your abilities lets you, and the extra stats on your defense and magical help a lot with base HP. That's why you can go hybrid and still do damage and heal. So this item is actually underrated on this character. You go this, you know, you definitely go trans before you go hybrid. Trans is too good of an item on this character. Then you can go hybrid, double boom this shield, then you go void, then you go mantle, and you're actually invulnerable. You do good damage and you're literally invulnerable, and you heal a lot, 20% CD. And then you could go something late like a Heartseeker. Heartseeker is always just that go-to item. And then we're going to go with the 5th jungler. That was the 4th, the 5th best jungler in the game right now. And I'm going to have to go with... damn, they buff, I was going to say Mercury, but they buff Spectral Armor, so I don't feel the same. I think it's between Naja or Pele. Naja got nerfed again. I'm going to have to go with Pele. Pele seems to be hidden. Nobody plays her. One person plays her, owns a team, and then everybody's first pick, first banning her. It's literally what happens every time with Pele, almost like on bots. And then we're going to have to go boom, boom, pow. We're going to go the Warrior to buy on her. And then you definitely go the Crusher because she has a lot of abilities, so ticking is very important. Then here you can kind of go the Transcendence. It's just like, it's unfortunately, but like Transcendence is so broken, you almost just build it on every character. Like if you want that big, like if the other jungler has Transcendence, you go like a Relic Dagger, like some hybrid item, you're gonna feel the power difference. It's such a big power item. You definitely feel and you feel a mana problem as well, unless you go like Blackthorn or something to help out. So I'm gonna show you right here. Boom, Transcendence. Then you can go. I feel like you go Erudite immediately. You could go Erudite here, 3rd item. I don't think it would be bad. You just have a couple mana problems. You just have to track your mana. So type shit. And then you can go Heartseeker right after, or a Bloodforge. Depends how you're feeling. These 2 items are amazing. Like 75 power. So they both 75 power. It's just really what you want. Do you want the possible kill, you know, snowball item, or you want the confirmed damage to one type of tanks? It's up to you. So we'll say confirmed damage to one type of tank. You're one-tapping everything with this build. You're one-shotting everything with this build. And then obviously, like I said, don't forget it. Mantle's the best item. Then after, you can go Bloodforge. And those are the top 5 junglers of Season 7. New patch. By the way, Set blew up. Set went up a lot with this new patch. So I'll let you guys know. Letting you guys know. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Yo, thanks, man. We hit 12K subs on YouTube. Feels good, man. Appreciate you guys supporting like that. All right.